For each of the following statements, select Yes if the statement is true, or No if it is false. The table displays three statements. Row 1. All the Azure resources deployed to a resource group must use the same Azure region. Row 2. If you assign a tag to a resource group, all the Azure resources in that resource group are assigned to the same tag. Row 3. If you assign permissions for a user to manage a resource group, the user can manage all the Azure resources in that resource group. To evaluate these statements, we need to consider how Azure resource groups function as containers. We must look at whether these groups mandate geographical consistency for the items they contain, how metadata, like tags, behave within the hierarchy of Azure management, and how role-based access control governs administrative authority over the contents of these groups.
In my view, the first statement is no. A resource group essentially provides a container for managing resources, but the group's location only indicates where its metadata is stored. It does not dictate that the actual resources inside must reside in that specific Azure region. They can be deployed globally across different regions.
The second statement is also no. When you apply a tag to a resource group, that tag is specific to the group object itself. It does not automatically propagate down to the individual resources residing inside that group. To have those resources tagged, you would need to apply them to each resource separately.
Finally, the third statement is yes. Azure uses a role-based access control model, which follows a parent-child inheritance structure. By granting a user management permissions at the resource group level, those permissions are inherited by all the individual resources within that container. An exam tip here is to always remember that permissions flow down the management hierarchy, but tags and location settings generally do not.